Hello there everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome once again to a new VR games roundup video. Today we're looking at November 2023. 2023 is on its last legs. It's basically 2024 now. That is absolutely crazy, and we're finishing the end on a ridiculous high. This month is stacked. The thing that struck me most about this month when looking at all the new releases is just how many Quest exclusives there are, and really meaningful ones at that. Assassins Creed Nexus, Stranger Things VR, Powerwash Simulator VR, all three releasing this month and exclusive to the Quest. When you pair that with some really strong multi-platform titles like Vampire the Masquerade Justice and Demeo Battles, November is crazy. Let's get straight into it. These are all the new VR games coming out this month that we currently know about. Some might say we have far too many roguelike shooters in VR. Well, I say you can never have enough, especially when it comes to steampunk western themed ones with horror elements. This is the Foglands, a spooky new roguelike adventure releasing on the 31st of October for PSVR2 and Quest. It looks like it utilises a lot of common rogue systems such as perk cards for upgrades, randomly acquired weapons, upgrades to said weapons, and of course the classic losing all your progress between runs and needing to start the battle all over again. Visually, I love the aesthetic of this one, and the enemy designs are giving me horror-themed Borderlands vibes. Excited to check this one out and see how it stacks up against my other favourite roguelike shooter, the Light Brigade. Video games are so weird. In what other medium could you experience the story of a group of living, speaking, walking cacti waging full-blown war against a group of worms? And I'm talking about proper war here. Helicopters, tanks, assault rifles, RPGs, and generally just outright destruction and obliteration all around. It's bonkers, but it makes for a great VR experience, especially if you're looking for a shooter that isn't gory or realistic. Sometimes you just want to shoot a gun in VR, but don't want to explode someone's face into a bloody pulp. And here, you can just blow up cartoon worms instead. The first of two space exploration games releasing in November now, this is Space Salvage, a game about piloting your own spaceship through asteroid fields and orbits of planets, searching for items, junk, and ultimately salvage that you can cash in for credits. You basically work as a space garbage person, cleaning up space and selling the weird trash you find floating about up there. However, you're not the only one looking for this salvage. You'll also encounter enemy ships that won't hesitate when it comes to blowing you up, so make sure you spend those credits that you earn on better defenses and, of course, bigger guns. I'm being deadly serious when I say that this is a frontrunner for my most anticipated game this month. I absolutely love Powerwash Simulator. I spent an obscene amount of time playing this game flat screen, and I'm absolutely prepared to spend even more time playing it in VR. Don't be surprised when I only release Powerwash Simulator VR videos for the rest of the month. You better enjoy watching a 36-year-old man cleaning various imaginary digital environments, because you're about to see a whole lot of it. Honestly, when I first heard about the flat game, I thought the same thing as most people. That sounds incredibly boring. But then I played it and it clicked with me almost instantly. This is the height of intricate, relaxing, therapeutic video gaming, and it's even better with a couple of friends, and I imagine it's going to be even better in VR. The Peaky Blinders King's Ransom was a game I wrongly assumed would be rubbish. I have a long history of not trusting movie or TV tie-in games, and I prepared myself for the worst when it came to embodying Birmingham's most famous gang in virtual reality. However, I was almost immediately proven wrong, as the game ended up being an absolute joy to play from start to finish. It's an experience packed with great performances and tons of highly interactive environments with secrets to find and silly objects to mess around with. It has a tight story with great set pieces that's no doubt better if you have a general knowledge of the source material. But even those who haven't seen the show will no doubt find a lot to love in this single player adventure when the definitive version releases on PSVR2 on the 2nd of November, complete with all the post-launch content that arrived on the Quest in the months since release. The 2nd of November is a ridiculous day. It's packed with an almost embarrassing amount of VR releases, and honestly, I have no idea how I'm going to find the time to play them, let alone cover any of them for the channel. Rounding out this day is Vampire the Masquerade Justice, an excellent looking blood-drenched single-player vampire experience from Fast Travel Games that apparently mimics the gameplay of one of my all-time favourite video game franchises, Dishonored. From the blink mechanic to the different approaches to tackling the game's missions and environments, almost everyone who's gone hands-on with the game has mentioned the similarities to Dishonored in their coverage, and this has me very excited. You can stealth your way through missions without dispatching any of your foes, or you can ruthlessly slash and bite your way through the levels, leaving a sea of blood in your wake. A VR Dishonored game is high up on my wish list, but I'll happily take a VR vampire game with similar mechanics in the meantime, especially if it's made by Fast Travel, who have a fairly solid track record for great VR experiences. Sometimes I have a trailer in these new VR games videos that I just cannot explain. I watch it over and over and honestly I have no idea what's going on. And that's definitely the case with this next game. Liminal Phase, a trippy VR horror adventure that seems to take place inside an old video game or series of them. With retro aesthetics and some 90s inspired floppy disk based FPS action, I can only assume the protagonist has been sucked into a terrifying old game, Tron style, and it's your job to fight your way back out into reality. I love the concept and I'm keen to dive in and see how right I am about exactly what's going on here. I don't know any people who like spiders. Just saying that actually makes me feel a little bit sad for them. Poor little guys just want to live their life and eat some flies, but everyone hates them and is always trying to suck them up into the hoover or catch them in a glass and throw them out the window. Being a spider must be tough. I do sympathise, but I still hate them and I don't want them anywhere near me. In this new PSVR2 version of the popular Kill It With Fire, you can live your wildest fantasies of destroying spiders with all manner of weaponry, from flamethrowers to shotguns, shurikens to RPGs. The ways in which you dispatch the critters in this game get increasingly more ridiculous as you progress your way through the story. It's a great game for younger kids and families as long as you can handle the terror of exploring these environments to find the sneaky hiding spiders. It's genuinely pretty horrific, even with these cartoony visuals. The long-awaited single-player story mode for popular VR game Stride is finally here on the 9th of November. However, it evolved from a free update to full-blown paid sequel, much to the frustration of some players. But for what it's worth, it does look fantastic, with a Boneworks-style approach to combat experimentation and the parkour system that made the original feel so much like Mirror's Edge in VR. Developers Joyway could be onto a winner here, as long as it's a polished experience that feels as fun to play as these trailers make it seem. Demeo is back with a sequel that turns your closest friends into enemies as you battle against them instead of alongside them. The original Demeo is still one of the best multiplayer VR games that money can buy. Fighting your way through Dungeons and Dragons style tabletop campaigns with a group of friends is challenging and exciting in all the right ways. It's an experience that perfectly captures the feeling of physically sitting around a table playing a few board games with friends. Demeo Battles, on the other hand, takes that same concept and flips it into a PvP experience where you now go head to head against these friends in 1v1 or 2v2 battles to see who the best Demeo player really is. Fingers crossed this game also gets the same exceptional mixed reality support that the original Demeo has, because battling against friends in MR in the same location would be a fantastic experience. Hi there, me again. Sorry to interrupt your new VR games in November video. Hopefully you're enjoying it so far and you've seen a few games you might buy this month. I'm just dropping by to bring you a message from today's sponsor. That's right, I've got a video sponsor now. I'm like some kind of real YouTuber, and the best thing about this sponsor is it's actually relevant to my content and my channel, and it's a platform that I truly believe in. SideQuest. I am super proud to say that SideQuest has sponsored today's video, and as an avid user of the service, honestly it plays a massive role in my content creation experience, I can confidently say that this is the tool that will unlock the full potential of your VR headset. Not only does this community-driven content platform offer a full storefront containing thousands of games and experiences that aren't necessarily available via AppLab or official standalone stores, but it also connects you with a passionate community of VR users and developers across the globe. Discover exciting indie games, radical innovative experiments, and experiences built by devs who might just be beginning their game development journey all in one place, in a way that allows you to offer feedback and support to those who are building the content that will ultimately shape the future of virtual reality. However, SideQuest is much more than just a storefront for games. It's a full-blown extension of your VR world. By using a combination of the PC, web-based or VR apps, you can gain the ability to install APK files, indie VR games, and other applications direct to your Quest or other supported standalone VR headset. You can also manage internal files, change the quality and style of your in-headset content capture, back up save files for games you might want to uninstall and come back to later, and much, much more. It really is a suite of tools that all standalone VR users needs, and it can be installed direct to your headset or PC for no cost. But those crazy cats at SideQuest didn't want to stop there. They weren't content with building the best independent storefront for VR applications that doubles as a toolkit for unlocking the full potential of your headset. Oh no! They then decided to create their very own social VR application that blends the best bits of VR chat with the physics-driven interactions of BoneLab. This is Banter, a free-to-play social application that supports Ready Player Me avatars. Yes, they have legs. It's revolutionary, and it allows players to explore countless worlds together whilst completing daily events and potentially winning some seriously cool prizes. Seriously cool prizes like a brand new Meta Quest 3 headset. That's right, every single week until Christmas, the SideQuest team are giving away a Quest 3 headset to a random user who is online in Banter at the moment the prize draw takes place. All you have to do to be in with a chance to win is play Banter. Keep playing Banter. The more Banter you play, the higher the chance you have of winning a Quest 3. Start living in Banter. Eat in Banter. Sleep in Banter. Never leave Banter. Oh, and you don't even need a headset to play, as Banter is now supported on PC flat screen. Download Banter using the link in the description down below and get SideQuest on your PC or headset today to start unlocking the full potential of your VR device. Back to the video. This next game has existed in the coming soon section on Steam for what feels like years, but the time has finally come for it to release on both Quest and PCVR platforms. This is Ziggys Cosmic Adventure, a space exploration game that tasks players with piloting their own spacecraft around the galaxy, maintaining it whenever systems start to break or it takes any kind of damage, all whilst looking after, or not looking after, that's your choice entirely, a small green alien creature called Ziggy. Details about exactly what the story entails are light on the ground, but I love space exploration games and that little green blob is incredibly cute, so as long as piloting the ship feels great in VR, you can sign me up for this adventure. Arguably the biggest VR first-person shooter of all time is finally coming to the Quest as a full store release this month after existing in App Lab and SideQuest for so long. Pavlov Shack is making the jump to full release and is bringing some brand new maps, a launch discount, and some exclusive pre-order skins to the table. It's the closest thing you'll get to Call of Duty in VR, and it's great to see it finally hitting the full Quest store. The biggest game in a month filled with pretty big games has got to be Assassins Creed Nexus, a full-blown Assassin's Creed game built from the ground up for VR that lets you play as 3 of the iconic assassins from the franchise: Ezio, Cassandra, and Connor. Now, I played this one a little while back at the Quest 3 hands-on event I attended, and honestly, I didn't want to stop playing. The feeling of freedom as you explore the city and tackle objectives however you see fit is so true to the flat screen games, and the parkour systems translate perfectly into VR. It really is much better than I hoped it would be after hearing some early reports last year that the game wasn't in great shape. I can't wait to see how the whole story pans out, and I'm eager to explore the other locations and play as the other assassins. But right now, I'm betting this will be one of the biggest and best VR games of the year. After all, the small chunk I played has left me very hungry for more. Escape rooms and VR go together like peanut butter and chocolate, but for some reason we don't have many high-quality multiplayer VR escape room games. Just a handful of shorter experiences are available on Steam, and no one has really capitalized on just how many different escape rooms you could build for a VR experience. We basically need the walkabout mini-golf equivalent of a VR escape room game, and Rooms of Realities could be the first attempt to create exactly that. The game has been available for a little while now, providing updates with new levels and experiences frequently, but it will be leaving early access and launching into its 1.0 version on the 17th of November. A Quest release is also scheduled, but it's unclear at this stage whether it will be releasing at the same time. I really can't make up my mind about Tiger Blade for PSVR2. Part of me thinks it looks really cool, but then another part is worried that the gameplay will actually be pretty lackluster. From all the trailers I've seen, it looks like an on-the-rails hack-and-slash shooter whereby players are fighting to reclaim a tiger cub from a gang of gun-toting samurai sword-wielding assassins. The premise itself is great, but the gameplay is hard to decipher from trailers. To me at least, it definitely looks like it's an on-the-rails experience and isn't offering players much in the way of freedom to explore, which would be a real shame. However, on-the-rails VR experiences aren't automatically bad. Take Zombieland, Pistol Whip and Dead Second for example. There's hope yet, and we don't have too long to wait to find out. Another massive IP makes its way to VR, and another huge Quest exclusive is dropping on the 30th of November when Stranger Things VR releases. Now, I'm extremely intrigued about this game. The easy path for devs of a Stranger Things game would have been to let players play as 11, or perhaps switch between the different Hawkins kids as they tackle the creatures of the Upside Down. But developers Tender Claws opted to go a completely different route and allow players to play as Vecna, the terrifying antagonist of the most recent season and perhaps ultimately the biggest threat in the Stranger Things universe. It's an interesting tactic that I think will make for a much more enjoyable and narratively exciting game, and the cel-shaded visual aesthetic that the developers are known for is a great choice for conveying the weird and wonderful visuals of the Upside Down. A good few months after it was supposed to release for the Quest platform, and we still haven't seen an updated release date for UBoat the Silent Wolf, but it's looking like everything is finally falling into place for a late November release. Now, I played this one 2 or 3 months back, and I was very impressed with the depth and complexity of the gameplay experience. Manning all the various stations of a U-boat as it embarks on missions across the globe is a challenging task that takes time and patience to learn. However, you can bring along a couple of friends for a much more manageable and immersive experience that relies heavily on teamwork to get the job done. Fingers crossed this one releases this month. It's a great game and I can't wait to play more of it. Breaches is one of the best new multiplayer VR shooters in recent years. It's a perfect virtual reality version of all the things that made Rainbow Six Siege such a massive success, and it does it all with its own sense of style and identity. The devs have been hard at work ensuring the game receives constant updates for game modes, meaningful quality of life changes, new maps, gun skins, and much more. And now they're bringing the game to PSVR2. Firewall Ultra is currently the frontrunner for PvP team-based VR shooters on PlayStation's VR platform, but it's going to have some seriously stiff competition when Breaches launches at some point in November 2023. I so badly wanted this to release in time for Halloween. It would have been the ultimate VR game to stream on the spookiest night of the year, but a last-minute delay has pushed MadIson VR out of October and into the back half of 2023. Fear not though, it is still currently scheduled for a 2023 release, but exactly when hasn't been announced. Now, if you haven't seen anything about the horror game MadIson, then you just need to know this one thing. It was actually scientifically proven to be the scariest game ever. Don't ask me how that experiment was conducted. I have no idea how you find that kind of data, but I am compelled to agree with the statement. I played it through in flat screen and it absolutely wrecked me, so prepare to ruin many pairs of trousers if you attempt this one in virtual reality. And that brings us to the end. These are all of the new VR games that we know about currently releasing in November 2023. As always, there will likely be more releases. We just don't know their release dates as of recording this video. Let me know down in the comments which ones you'll be picking up. There's so many to pick from this month. It's absolutely stacked, but I know I'll be spending most of my time in Powerwash VR and Assassins Creed Nexus. At least I think I will. Vampire Masquerade might also win me over, but we'll see. Hope you enjoyed, guys. If you have, as always, please do leave a like, leave a comment, hit subscribe, and I'll see you soon for another one. Take care, guys. See you later.